We are just waiting for some people to log in with connections. We're going to start here in just a few minutes.
What now?
We will run through this. You'll hear me say this multiple times, but my name is Mara Jenkins. For those that don't know, I am co-directors with Taylor Simmers. I am in charge of the program. And we're going to get started here in a few minutes. How it's going to work is we're going to ask that you keep yourself muted just because we have such an amazing turnout with over 80 people already joining in from across the country. We are privileged to have people joining us who are longtime community members, as well as new to T, and also prospective families joining us today to understand where it is we are going next year. We're going to run through a quick introduction from Taylor, and then we will have, we're going to have you read because we want to make the most of everyone's time. So we prepared some information for you that we will share out via the chat function. Give you about 15 minutes to go through what we're looking at for next year related to our program, our facilities, our financials, and then spend most of our time engaged in a Q&A where you will use the chat function to ask Taylor and me any questions that may come up that you want answered. We will do our best to answer as many of them as possible, and we will also follow up with any people that we don't get to answer your questions. So appreciate you all joining us. We're going to give everyone just one more minute to get acclimated to the Zoom world, and then we will kick it off. All right, for those that just joined, what I just said to everyone else is my name is Mara Jenkins. I am co-directors with Taylor Simmers, who you will hear from in just a second. We will be introducing what tonight looks like. We are asking that everyone stays muted, and then we will share out some information in the chat function that you can read through. We'll give you some time to go through it, and then we will transition into a Q&A, knowing that everyone has a lot of questions, and we want to answer as many of them as possible for next year. And we'll end, as we always do, with some appreciations. I'll start by just saying thank you so much. We have just about 90 people already logged in a virtual format in a time where we are trying to be connected as much as humanly possible. So I'm excited to see so many of your faces and that you're taking time out of your day to join us. So with that, I will hand you over to Taylor, who has a quick introduction before we dive into the nitty-gritty of all the information you want to know about for next year.
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry I can't do video. I live out in the sticks here north of Truckee, so the streaming doesn't work so well for us. But it's probably a good thing because I spent last weekend on Mount Shasta and my face is totally fried. So you'd be looking at a fried nose and fried lips right now if you could see my face. So it's better that you don't. Laugh. LOL, LOL, LOL. Sure. Let me just get started with a letter and an intro. I would echo Mara's sentiments. So awesome to see prospective families on this call, new families on this call, and some OGs on the call. So awesome to have you here. At T, of course, we believe in helping our students and ourselves learn how to adapt and thrive in challenging situations. Parentheses, good timing, right? Question mark. We believe all students deserve a relevant, purposeful, and engaging education. Parentheses, in person and virtually. We believe young people can have a positive impact on the world right now and perhaps more so than ever before. These are the principles that are at the core of our culture and our mindset at T. You know them because you are with us too. If you witnessed any of the passages last week from the 8th graders, you'll know our students indeed have learned how to adapt and thrive by being pushed beyond their comfort zones. In their videos and presentations, it was clear these young people are ready to tackle their next adventure and precisely the kind of humans we need in the world today. And if you hear me choking up, it's because I'm choking up. And usually tears come out of my eyes when that happens. One of our rising 8th graders who has been at T since her first year said, quote, "Facing challenges may be really difficult, but it's necessary to figure out the person you are. It's important to step into the fears and do what you care about. That's what matters," end quote. Taking this advice from one of our students as we look ahead to next fall, we need to step into our fears and stay the course. That's what matters. Together, we've got this. And we know those organizations who can stabilize, stay the course, and adapt quickly when the time is right, come out of challenges stronger. We're so thankful to have you guys here tonight. That was a letter that Mara and I wrote to you that I read that we'll be sharing after the fact as well.
Thanks, Taylor. So at this point, we are going to exercise your reading skills a little bit because we feel like in the past that's allowed us to get as much information to you as possible and then spend most of our time just really differentiating for the questions that are at burning need to be answered in your mind, because we know there's so many unknowns in the world right now, and our goal is to answer as many questions as possible, knowing that we are all leaning into that unknown together. So if you click on that link in the chat section, you're going to see the information that our different departments have compiled that forecast what we are preparing for next year, as well as where we currently are. We're going to give you about 15 minutes to look through that, and then we are going to open it up to questions from everyone and answer as many questions as possible. Anyone we don't get to, Taylor and myself will reach out to personally with the questions that you chat in this function.
Are there any clarifying questions? You can chat those in the chat function before we break for about 15 minutes. And for those of you who just came online, hit the chat function and look at Mara's link. We're going to read through the State of the School memo for about 15 minutes, and then we'll come back for a Q&A, and we'll end up with some appreciations. Okay, we're going to do a virtual break, hand clap, right now. We'll see you in about 15 minutes.